Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Sam's Long Balls podcast with me, Dan. Now, today I thought I would do a transfer episode where I just have a look at all the latest transfer news and gossip, and we go through it together. So, some pretty exciting news straight away for West Ham fans. It looks like you guys have agreed a deal in principle for Lille midfielder ONANA. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I butcher names. You'll probably, if you've ever seen any other episodes or any other videos, rather episodes, not an ongoing TV series. If you've ever seen any of our other videos on the podcast, you will know that I butcher a lot of names, so I do apologize. But it looks like West Ham have agreed a fee in principle for 40 million euros, including add-ons, for this guy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know everything about this player. I've seen little bits and bobs. I've seen compilation videos, which obviously don't show you everything. But he does play for Lille, and I would say, having watched a little bit of the French league, over the past couple of seasons, I think a lot of players from Lille and from Nice, there's a lot of talent within both of those clubs. So I feel that there is a lot of fantastic players out there in the French league at the moment. So I'm absolutely sure that this guy is going to fit in with West Ham. From what I've seen, he's very energetic, bit of a powerhouse in that midfield, a bit box to box. Looks very strong defensively, calm on the edge of his box, but can also get you goals going forward. So it looks like a really exciting moment for West Ham, this, because obviously you guys had spent a bit of money, or quite a lot of money, rather, quite a lot of money the other week on a brand new striker. Looks like you're bringing in a brand new midfielder. Now, it does also say here that you've agreed a fee with Lille, but completion of the deal is a long way from being done, however, with personal terms not close to being agreed yet. So Lille themselves are reluctant sellers, but are very aware that they may not get a deal like this for a player in the future. So, personal terms haven't been agreed yet, but I'm sure that won't be too long. Potentially, if other Premier League clubs are interested, if you guys have agreed a fee, they might offer Lille 40 million euros as well, if they feel that he is that good. That might become an issue, but I would imagine personal terms won't be too much of a hurdle to overcome for West Ham. And sticking with West Ham this morning, obviously they've got a brand new striker. It looks like they're getting in a brand new midfielder. Where was it? I did see it. Here we go. West Ham talks for Cornet continue. So West Ham remain in discussion with Burnley over the signing of Maxwell Cornet. Now, this deal would be an initial loan deal with an option to make the deal permanent. So there's no it's not with an obligation to buy. It would become an obligation to buy based on player and club performances. So obviously, the only way that West Ham would actually be forced to buy Cornet, or obliged rather, not forced, sitting there with a gun, you've got to sign this guy, would be if he does really well, or if the club themselves do really well with him there. So it's a bit of a win-win for West Ham and Cornet at the moment, if this deal does go through. A bit of a kick in the teeth for Burnley. I think he was a really exciting signing when he came in. Obviously, it didn't sort of work out brilliantly with Burnley, obviously getting relegated. But he's a very talented player, can play left back, can play left wing. Exciting player. So it looks like sort of 3 brand new signings for West Ham in the space of a week, which is obviously brilliant stuff for West Ham United. So let's have a little look at what else is going on in the transfer world. So it looks like Alex Telles could be on the move from Manchester United. So Sevilla are in advanced talks with Manchester United over the signing of left-back Alex Telles on a season-long loan. Telles is one of a number of players United are listening to offers for. So obviously United seem fairly keen to get him out of the door. Obviously Manchester United have got Luke Shaw. You've also got the new signing, the youngster Tyrell. I'm not going to say his surname because I will butcher that name. Obviously, he's a signing that's come in from Feyenoord, I believe. Obviously, played in the Dutch league. Erik ten Hag has obviously seen a lot of him and is very impressed by him. So, looks like Alex Telles could be on his way out. Let me know, United fans, how do you guys feel about that? I did a video yesterday picking my strongest Manchester United 11 from the options available, and I completely forgot in the left back situation about Tyrell. I sort of mentioned that I think Alex Telles isn't probably good enough for Manchester United, and that Luke Shaw is head and shoulders above if he sort of stays fit and is coached properly. But I completely forgot about the brand new signing at left back that you guys have got. So let me know in the comments down below, United fans. Are you excited? Obviously, this is a signing going out, but are you happy to see the back of Alex Telles and a new boy coming in? And also West Ham fans, are you guys excited? New striker, new midfielder. and potentially Maxwell Cornet as well coming in. So are you excited about those deals, or do you think actually, we're spending a lot of money here on potentially some unproven players? I personally would be really excited if I was a West Ham fan. This one, I think is quite a strange transfer, this. Kasper Schmeichel perhaps didn't have the best of seasons last season. I mean, you could probably say that for the whole Leicester City team, to be perfectly honest. Lots of injuries, lots of issues seem to be with that club. And obviously, back when Nottingham Forest had knocked Leicester City out of the FA Cup, Brendan Rodgers was very angry press conference and seemed to suggest that it was going to be a big signing, a big summer rather, for Leicester City, hinting that, lots of players were going to be pushed out the door, and equally there were going to be a number of players coming in. Now, at this point in time, Leicester City are the only team in the Premier League to have not made a signing so far. So it's been a very, very quiet window. Brendan Rodgers has also come out and said, all seem to suggest that, the money isn't there. The money is not there at Leicester City at the moment, which must be a bit of a worry for Leicester City fans, because obviously coming off the back of last season, which wasn't great, you want to see a couple of additions come in and strengthen your squad. And obviously it looks like Leicester don't have that money. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is perhaps sell some of your top players. Now, I personally feel that Kasper Schmeichel is one of your top players. And when he's at his best, he is one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. I rate him very, very highly, but it looks like he's going to be on his way to Nice. He's going to undergo a medical. It just says he's going to undergo a medical. It doesn't say whether it would be today, or I imagine it would be sort of in the next few days. But to lose Kasper Schmeichel, I don't know, looking at that on the outside, that looks like a big move for Leicester City, a huge loss there. But let me know, guys, in the comments, if you're Leicester fans, are you happy to see the back of Kasper Schmeichel? Do you feel that actually, he's not over the hill, but he's sort of starting to sort of fade a little bit. He's not going to be that goalkeeper that he was a couple of seasons ago, especially when you guys won the Premier League, and that actually he might be starting to become a little bit of a hindrance to City. So are you guys happy to see him go? Are you a little bit worried? Do you need to bring in another goalkeeper, or do you have a goalkeeper in in the reserve team? I don't know enough about Leicester's squad off the top of my head. I know that you guys have Danny Ward, who you signed from Liverpool a few seasons ago. Would you give Danny Ward that number one spot? Is there someone else in that Leicester City squad or the youth team that you think would be better placed to be number one, or do you have to go out and sign another goalkeeper? If Leicester's funds are as bad as what they seem to suggest, are we going to see more sales from Leicester City? Obviously, Newcastle have been very, very interested in James Maddison. I believe submitted a £40 million bid a few days ago for him, which was rejected. Yuri Tillemans is another player who's attracting a lot of interest. Arsenal in particular seem to be very keen on him. I remember a few weeks ago, Edu came out and said that Arsenal are not finished yet in the transfer window. So I'm fully expecting to see Arsenal come in for Yuri Tillemans. Leicester fans, are you going to see Maddison and Tillemans go in one window? Obviously you might have to sell to bring in these funds and rebuild the squad. But how would you feel if you lost Schmeichel, Tillemans and Maddison all in one window, and all quite near the end of the window as well? Looking at that on the outside, I'd be worried personally if I was a Leicester City fan. And sticking on Leicester, Man United and Chelsea are monitoring Jamie Vardy. Now, I don't really know how much truth there is to this. I would take a huge drink of salt with this, because Manchester United and Chelsea are monitoring Leicester City striker Jamie Vardy, according to 90 Mins. The 35-year-old England international has a year left to run in his contract at the King Power Stadium. Now, there's nothing of substance there. He's got a year left. Next year he could leave for free. When he's 35. Next year, obviously, he'll be 36. I'm sure if he's still performing the way that he is, then teams will be interested and probably will give him a one-year option. But Vardy absolutely loves Leicester. I can't see him going. I can't see Manchester United or Chelsea being, particularly interested in Vardy. Obviously, with each passing season, he has picked up more and more injuries. He is missing more and more of the season. Potentially Man United, I suppose, if they do let Ronaldo go and they see him as a potential squad option. I don't think it would suit Chelsea down to the ground. I think, Chelsea are looking at younger players, the likes of, Havertz, Sterling, Mount potentially being their front three this season, having sort of those players that interlink with each other rather than an out-and-out number 9. I think potentially Manchester United could be interested in Jamie Vardy, but again, I would be heavily, heavily surprised. This one looks like quite an interesting one. PSG agree Sanchez deal. So PSG are closing in on the capture of midfielder Renato Sanchez. He's only 24 years old. Jesus, I saw this guy has been around for like 10 years. Don't mind me, I just needed a bit of a drink there. A big fan of Renato Sanchez, really am. I know that my team Liverpool were heavily linked with him a year or so ago. We're really excited about bringing Sanchez in, but the biggest thing that goes against him is his injury problems. His injury problems have been horrendous, but if he can stay fit, and it's a big if, he does have the potential to be one of the strongest midfielders in the European game. It looks like they're going to bring him in to replace Jorginho Wijnaldum, who himself is on the verge of joining Roma. What happened, Genie? What happened, Genie? You left for the money. You left for the Wonga. So it looks like at the moment that is the majority of the transfer news. Obviously, Dean Henderson has left Manchester United to go on loan at Nottingham Forest. I don't know if you guys saw the interview on TalkSport yesterday. That was pretty insane. Having a right go at Manchester United, heavily criticising Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, heavily criticising, Manchester United and his treatment, even the England setup. It sounded a little bit petulant, I must admit. Really, really strange interview to come out and do that, especially on a World Cup year. I think just keep your mouth shut and go and play good football for Forest. There was no need for that. Chelsea looking, keeping an eye on Kyle Walker-Peters. Big fan of Kyle Walker-Peters. Didn't know he was 25 though. For some strange reason, I always thought he was about 21, 22. It seems like a strange one to me. I suppose he could play right wing back, but £40 million to be a backup to Reece James. I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't believe that. Do not believe that. But it seems like that is the majority of the transfer news. So perhaps not the most exciting news, unless you're a West Ham fan. It seems a bit of a West Ham day today in terms of transfer news. I'm going to try and do transfer videos as often as possible because obviously you never know when the next big thing is going to happen. But let me know, guys, down below. Are you happy with your club's activity so far this window? Are you not? And who is the dream signing that you want your club to make within the next few weeks? So I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks a lot.